Coming up, Tzu Chi volunteers in New York hold a winter aid distribution in Flushing and Brooklyn for those in need. Tzu Chi volunteers in Hsinchu, Taiwan send Tzu Chi's instant rice and multigrain powder to disadvantaged groups in the area. Welcome to DaAi Headlines. I'm Mary Lee. Thank you for joining us. We begin today's program in the United States. Tzu Chi New York chapter held a winter aid distribution in Flushing and Brooklyn and gave away 200 comforters and 700 coats. Thanks to Tzu Chi, close to 700 families will have a warm winter this year.
As the year end is coming, Tzu Chi volunteers in New York hold a winter distribution, giving out coats, comforters, and other goods in Flushing and Brooklyn.
When you bring home the winter clothing, it shows you care about environmental conservation.
It was the first time for Tzu Chi volunteers to hold such an event at the 8th Avenue in Brooklyn, which is full of Chinese residents. Unexpectedly, close to 400 coats and 120 comforters were completely given away in 2.5 hours.
We started distributing in Brooklyn this year. We expected around 200 people would come, but 500 to 600 people came. It was very successful. Because it's winter now, many people need comforters. After people brought theirs home, they told their neighbors to come here. So this year, we were short of comforters.
Besides the comforters, toys and stationery are very popular among children.
玩具，因为我们太迟来了，然后玩具都已经发完了。本来我就是来想给宝宝们拿点玩具的。
Tzu Chi's helped me out a lot in my life. We went through Hurricane Sandy, and that was it was like, everything we owned was destroyed, and it was coming back and helping out people that needed it. It was nice to come here.
Many mothers in our Jinsi aphorism class and the adults English class came to help out. After they joined our classes, they understood Tzu Chi and liked Tzu Chi, and thus were willing to help.
This year's winter distribution gave away 700 coats and 200 comforters, so close to 700 families will have a warm winter.
Volunteers from the Philippines Tzu Chi chapter recently visited Quezon City to distribute rice to residents in need. When asked, some of the recipients said they are blessed to have met Tzu Chi and be given much-needed assistance.
Tzu Chi volunteers in the Philippines are holding a rice distribution for the poor in Quezon City.
We're very grateful for this rice, as it will help feed my family in the days ahead. With Tzu Chi's assistance, our days of going hungry will be reduced.
I am so happy to have received this rice from the Tzu Chi Foundation. This will help me put food on the table. I am so lucky and blessed to have met the Tzu Chi Foundation, who has delivered food and assistance.
For those families living on the fringes of society in Quezon City, Tzu Chi's timely assistance has helped bring about a light of hope in these desolate times.
In Malaysia, the Tzu Chi Johor Bahru branch recently organized their annual free health checkup on behalf of their care recipients. Traditional Chinese medicine services were also provided to the delight of many patients.
A mother with 5 children participates in the free health check. Since her children suffer from malnutrition and the mother has stomach-related illness, Dr. Kan Chan-sean empathizes with this family.
I feel like they are my family, so my heart goes out to them. I promised this care recipient that I will go visit her at home next week to offer more help.
Dr. Kang, who was a Tzu Chi, is hoping to do more as a doctor. At the annual free health check organized by the Tzu Chi Johor Bahru branch, Tzu Chi care recipients seize their rare opportunity to consult doctors.
This health checkup is different from before, as TCM service is offered today. I consulted a TCM doctor who said I was weak and performed gua sha on me. I am very grateful to the doctor.
So many things I learned. I can teach also my children because I got 6 children. I must show up what I learned here.
Volunteers from the Cancer Prevention Association also come to the event every year to promote health knowledge.
I take the initiative to participate in Tzu Chi's health checkup every year. I feel people's love each time I attend the event.
The TIMA members and volunteers serve a total of 100 care recipients, helping them to keep illness at bay to enjoy a healthy and promising life.
Zhou Zhaofang is an adjunct associate professor of the National Taiwan University School of Nursing. Having spent over 50 years of her life in the nursing industry, she saw a dire need for hospitals to provide all-around care for their hospitalized patients. This means hospitals will provide professional trained caretakers to look after their patients at a reasonable fee so that the patient's family members will not have to take time off from work to do it themselves. In addition, this will make sure the patients get quality care and allow hospitals to better manage their patients. Many people will take time off or quit their job to care for hospitalized loved ones. However, without proper medical training, they might not necessarily be the best care provider. Also, the continuous stress and stay in the hospital may jeopardize their own well-being as well.
Due to a rapidly aging society, seniors in their 60s and 70s care for those over 80 years old. These caretakers then often overwork themselves and end up kicking the bucket earlier than those they look after. When a patient checks into a hospital, the hospital should be responsible for the patient. This is the final stretch in completing Taiwan's medical care system.
Having invested over 5 decades in nursing care, Zhou Zhaofang is promoting all-around care where professional caretakers provided by the hospital will look after hospitalized patients.
对病人的那个照顾品质一定提升啦。
This will elevate the quality of medical care the patient receives and also minimize the burden placed on the patient's family. At the same time, the hospital can better manage their patients.
Zhou is going around the island to promote her cause. Her first stop was the Hualien Hospital. Next, she visited the Jingse abode to explain her ideals to Master Zhen Yan.
少子化了吼，少年呢会当来照顾愈来愈少。
For her efforts in elevating the country's medical system, Zhou was awarded the Global Love of Lives Award by the Zhou Daquan Foundation. This year, the Ministry of Education's award for promoting and preserving a native language actually went to a French man by the name of Maurice Hsinchu, better known as Father Hsinchu to all those who know him. The 83-year-old Catholic priest has spent the past 56 years serving the indigenous Amis people in Yuli, Hualien. We now tell you about his incredible achievement. At the senior center of the indigenous Tiefen settlement in Yuli, Hualien, grandpas and grandmas are having fun learning to use a computer. Both Yuli and Fuli also have the same senior center, thanks to the Catholic priest Maurice Hsinchu.
Father Hsinchu saw the work done by the centers and felt that our elderly have not only come a long way in their spiritual cultivation, but have also learned to better interact with children in the tribes.
The 83-year-old priest from France arrived in Taiwan when he was just 27 years old. Immediately, he devoted himself to serving the Amis people and subsequently built a Catholic church in Tiefen. He also helped establish the first credit union in Hualien, so indigenous people will not have to turn to loan sharks if they are short on funds, and taught them the virtue of saving.
I told them that they should learn to save money instead of wasting it. With the credit union, they can borrow money and pay back the loan properly. That's how livelihoods slowly improved here.
To blend in, Father Hsinchu learned to speak Amis, Mandarin, Taiwanese, and Hakka. He even created an Amis dictionary in French and used romanization to help other priests learn to speak the language. The dictionary now plays a vital role in preserving the Amis language.
We need to preserve the language of the Amis people. The language is slowly disappearing, and fewer people are willing to learn it. At least we still have my dictionary for reference.
Father Hsinchu's dedication has brought changes to the indigenous people. Not only is he their spiritual mentor, he is also known as the angel east of the river, for he always supports the disadvantaged using his own money.
其实神父在我们这边帮助不少。
Father Hsinchu has helped many people here. I'm not the only one. His love has also reached our heart. To us, he's not simply a priest. He's more like a father figure. Father
Hsinchu has also created a hymn in Amis to help spread his message of love. Having spent 56 years in Taiwan, the country has long become his home. He will continue to serve selflessly until the very end. This Wednesday, the Good People, Good Deeds Award was given out in Taiwan to recognize people who have helped make a difference in Taiwan. Hopefully, more people will be inspired to take action and make this world a better place. 73-year-old Guo Zhongshan first started off as a dock worker in Keelung. As he always devoted himself to serving the community, he was elected a borough magistrate for 3 consecutive terms. In 1997, he started volunteering at the Ren'ai Senior Home.
I'm ecstatic. It's just as others have said. Life is about helping others. Thankfully, others have given me this opportunity to serve. This world is so full of compassion and warmth.
Another winner of this year's Good Person, Good Deeds Award is Li Xiaoling, who was a nurse at the NTU hospital. To help more people, she has chosen nursing to be her profession.
At the hospital, you see a new life being born and people dying constantly. This reminds me to maximize the limited time and strength that I have.
The purpose for giving out the Good Person, Good Deeds Award is to recognize people who have contributed to the betterment of society as a whole, so that more people will also do their part to help make this world a better place. Thirty-seven-year-old pianist Xu Hongming, who entertains patients and their families in the lobby of Kaohsiung Veterans General Hospital despite his own visual impairment. Here's more on his story.
Pianist Xu Hongming plays a great mix of beautiful piano music as a soloist. When he partners up with a flute player, he also plays a different kind of songs.
An 88-year-old grandma comes to listen every day. She enjoys coming here to listen to the music.
Xu Hongming's piano music attracts many listeners in the lobby of Kaohsiung Veterans General Hospital. While she seems to have memorized the music by heart, he actually cannot see the sheet music clearly.
I buy and listen to a lot of CDs because sheet music is very complicated, and 70% of my optic nerves have been damaged.
She has been severely nearsighted since he started school. He began playing piano at the age of 5 and has never given up on practicing. When he entered graduate school, his intraocular pressure increased, severely impairing his vision. Such setback depressed him, so he sealed off his heart for a while.
I still enjoy playing the piano. I needed to pull myself together again, and the professor kept encouraging me.
The support of his graduate school professors helps Xu open up his heart again. As he bravely faces the future, he continues to share his beautiful music, soothing the hearts of those who stop and listen.
Tzu Chi Social Welfare Foundation is a halfway home for teenagers in need. To raise funds for the nonprofit charity, a group of celebrities has come together to draw on red envelopes used during Chinese New Year, which are then sold. Hopefully, over $70,000 can be raised to meet the charity's needs.
6 types of red envelopes featuring different kind of drawings done by known celebrities such as Liu Yue and Fan Weiqi are on display. This is a fundraiser to help the Tzu Chi Social Welfare Foundation.
我觉得自己小时候成长的环境比较
I grew up in a poor family, so life was hard. Now that my life is much better, I can help children from poor families. We're in this charity sale to help these children achieve their
他们
dreams.
做他们自己想做的事情。
Encouraged by Liu Yue, Xiaoxun's eyes turn red. She and her sister are taken in by Tzu Chi because her parents have divorced, and her father hit someone while drunk driving.
进到里面之后学习。
After we went to the shelter, we felt familiar warmth because they've given us many resources and help us with our studies. Their company is like that of a family. They care for us and also encourage us.
Founded over 20 years ago, Tzu Chi has been taking in children from broken families and those with behavioral problems. Today, they have assisted over 900 children. The foundation hopes to raise over $70,000 this time.
Every year, just on the children's food alone will cost us over $48,000. Vocational training costs another $20,000.
The foundation hopes that by selling these red envelopes, the children left in its charge will be able to enjoy a happy Chinese New Year.
In Hsinchu, a local entrepreneur began a project to distribute Tzu Chi's multigrain powder and instant rice she purchased to disadvantaged groups. Soon more people joined the cause by helping with the purchasing as well as distributing. Recently, such an aid distribution was held at a learning center in Hsinchu for mentally disabled children.
之后粉放进杯子里，那你先用温水才不会水落太多，很容易可能溢出来。
Today, Tzu Chi volunteers from Hsinchu are visiting Hsinchu Workshop, a learning center where they care for students who are mentally disabled. For this visit, the volunteers have brought gifts of Tzu Chi's multigrain powder and instant rice.
我看到他们是很开心、很高兴的感觉。
The students have been asking since this morning when our visitors will come. They're quite excited as they feel that if someone is here to give them a gift, this must mean they earned it. They were quite looking forward to it.
For these children, the multigrain powder and instant rice isn't just a gift, but a present embedded with love and care.
I wanted to give them a bit more of my attention. It's not every day that I can come here to visit, so I cherish the opportunity.
For the volunteers, each connection is memorable, and through interacting with these children, they ensure that the children feel well loved by society as well. Meanwhile, the visit to Hsinchu Workshop is part of a bigger project to send warmth to various charity organizations in Hsinchu. The initiator of the project is Tzu Chi volunteer Wu Meifen.
When I first had the idea, I just thought perhaps a few of the sisters and brothers that I knew better would come together to do something good for society and help promote such a wonderful product to everyone, and also help disadvantaged groups. I didn't expect that this idea would be so well received.
Running for the past 5 months, this project has left its mark in nearly the entire Hsinchu area. Before giving them the gifts, though, we will make sure to research the organization on the internet and calling them individually to further understand their individual needs.
I looked them up on the internet to make sure the organization has not received any negative reviews before I deliver the items. We once began our journey at 6 or 6:30. To reduce our carbon emission output, we distribute to 4 or 5 organizations which are in the same area in the same day.
Wu also uses messaging media to help chemists for donations. Once she has the number of multigrain powder and instant rice an organization needs, she will pass on the information to other volunteers who will then help her find donors.
Some of the contributors are happy to help spread the words because they receive so much joy from helping out.
Although her campaign has met its challenges, Wu does not have a word of complaint, as she can see how this project has already created a cycle of love and compassion.
According to government statistics, residents in Taiwan use up to 2.7 plastic bags in a day, which cannot decompose, thus wreaking havoc in marine life. Therefore, DaAi TV's children programming, calling Dr. Marvelous, is asking students across the island to reduce their consumption of plastic bags.
Back in October, a sperm whale was found dead floating off the shores of Taiwan's west coast. An autopsy concluded the whale had swallowed massive amounts of plastic bags and fishing nets.
The whale's stomach was found to contain large amounts of man-made garbage and fishing nets. Of course, this isn't a direct cause of death, but a critical one, because with these items in its stomach, the whale might have had difficulty eating and subsequently malnourished.
Plastic bags are a major marine pollution contributor. According to government statistics, residents in Taiwan use up to 18 billion plastic bags per year, and on average, every person uses up to 2.7 plastic bags per day. Most plastic items do not decompose easily, and if sent to the incinerator, it will emit toxic fumes. This is why the children's program at DaAi TV, Calling Dr. Marvelous, has enacted a campaign to enlist elementary school students to reduce their use of plastics.
If sperm whales are dying near our shorelines due to our excessive use of plastic bags, I believe the children will look deep within their hearts and help protect these animals by changing their habits.
Plastics have become widely used in students' daily life.
No matter if it's to hold breakfast or cookies and candies, plastic bags are very convenient.
Entering a typical classroom, one can easily find every student using at least one plastic bag. From holding stationery to book covers, plastic bags are used frequently by students. The island-wide competition calls on elementary school students to reduce their usage of plastics, starting with a reduction of one plastic bag per day, in hopes of inspiring more people to join the effort.
In China, Tzu Chi volunteers in Jiangxi province recently visited Baizu Elementary School, which is across菲计顺Reservoir, to bring Jingsi aphorism lessons to the students.
In spite of the low temperature, warmth is felt this morning in Yichun, Jiangxi province. Crossing菲计顺Reservoir in a boat, Tzu Chi volunteers reached the foot of Baishan Mountain in 30 minutes. Then they receive a warm welcome at the Baizu Elementary School. Jingsi aphorisms lessons taught by these volunteers have always been popular at the school.
What will you do if a classmate throws trash on the ground?
These well-taught children also show their proper demeanor while dining. Tzu Chi volunteers then give out school bags as gifts, which are embedded with their well wishes for these children to continue learning and walking the correct life path.
Taipei's Economic and Cultural Office in Chile recently decided to upgrade their computers and printers, and to give the old computers and printers, which are still perfectly usable, another chance at serving the public. Local authorities donated them to Tzu Chi to have the organization repair and distribute them to those in need. We will leave you with these images at the end of the program. Thank you for watching DaAi Headlines. See you next week.